Everyone, welcome back to another video. Welcome to another workout topic video where I'm gonna show to you muscle group. I'm gonna show you the anatomy, the physiology, how the muscle work, and then the best way to train it using your body weight and doing calisthenic exercises. Today I'm gonna talk about triceps. Now, last time I talked about the chest and the triceps. That are pretty much the muscles that we find on the back of your upper arm are gonna be pushing muscles. So when you're gonna activate these muscles, when these muscles are gonna contract, they're gonna push you away from something, or they're gonna push something away from you. So these muscles work normally with bodyweight exercises. These muscles work together with the chest, because as well the chest are gonna be muscles that are gonna push something away from you, or are gonna push yourself away. So these two muscle groups work together. And for example, like push-ups or dips, all these exercises where you're training your chest, you're gonna train as well your triceps, because it's pushing exercises. Now, there are some exercises, even body weight, that are going to allow you to target specifically the triceps without involving too much of the chest, and I'm going to show them to you later on in the video. But now let's just take a look at how these muscles are made and the anatomy and all that very good stuff. So the triceps are muscles that, as I said at the beginning, you can find here in the back of your arms. And just by standing like this, contracting and pushing something behind you, you should be able to see the muscle here firing up. And now this muscle is called tricep because of the fact that it has 3 heads, exactly like biceps has 2 heads. Triceps has 3 heads. And if I stay like here, for example, again in the back, and I just contract my arm, you can see that there are different parts of the muscle. And now there is like a lateral part of the muscle that also you can look at it from the side. That is the lateral head. There is this one right here, all right? Then there is a big chunk of portion of the muscle that is like in the middle of the arm, like in this side, see? And that's the long head. And then finally we have a very small part of the muscle that is just here, that is almost like merged to the long head. You cannot really distinguish it that much. That is the medial head. So you can see right here that there is like this little line, this little delineation. That's the medial head. So this muscle, so the triceps, are gonna originate from, in this case, the lateral head is gonna originate from the posterior part of the humerus, like here, so very, very close to the shoulder joint. So pretty much like here, and you can see it here, the lateral head, here, see, just doing this, and then going down, all right? Then the long head instead is gonna originate from the scapula, so from the shoulder, very, very much behind, like from here, and from a point of the scapula that is called infraglenoid tuberculus, and it's gonna just run like this. Then the middle head, the long head, sorry, is gonna just not be exactly in the center, but it's gonna be closer to the medial part of the arm. So it's gonna run not exactly in the center, but it's gonna run like closer to the bottom. In this case, you're seeing like it's closer to the bottom part. So it does something like this, from here, and then it runs downwards. And finally, the medial head is something that you can look at it from the front. This part right here is the medial head. This part is the long head. So this side right here is the medial head, and it's gonna pretty much run from from this point, again, posterior part of the humerus, but this time like almost halfway through it, the bone from here, and it's gonna just do this. So it's gonna run towards the side, and then it's gonna again merge with the other heads into one big tendon, and it's gonna attach to this bone right here, that is the olecranos, that is a part of the ulna. This is a bone in the forearm, and that's pretty much it. So these three muscles are gonna all merge to one another around this area, and they're gonna just attach right here. You can see the tendon, and therefore when these muscles contract, they're gonna primarily extend the elbow. So that's why the tricep is an extensor, is the main extensor of the elbow, right? And now, because the long head attaches to the scapula, the long head is the only part of the triceps that is gonna also have another function. So it's gonna, yes, extend the elbow, but as well it's gonna extend, it's gonna like help extending the arm on the shoulder. So that's shoulder extension. So it's gonna collaborate because it attaches here in the as I said before, in the infraglenoid tuberculus, right? So that's the anatomy, and you can already see just with the anatomy these three muscles, like in order to target them more or less, you're gonna need to do some slight changes. So if you're gonna target more the medial head, that is also the part of the tricep that is closest to the elbow joint, you need to do exercises that are gonna like completely extend your elbow. So when you're doing, like, for example, push-ups, if you wanna target the medial head more, all right, you're gonna extend the elbows, but at the same time you're gonna extend them completely. So really pushing through, like you would be needing to do some explosive exercises and you just jump away. That's the way to go. So that's one way how you can target more the medial head. Another way how you can target it is quite simple again. It's like doing holding exercises where you have already the elbow in full extension. So for example, if you're doing like a planche hold, like this, for example, and you're really pushing to have your elbows straight, you're really pushing like you would have something here, and you're really trying to, you know, push it forward, like this, and then from here you hold, you're really squeezing, you know, trying to really extend maximally the more you can. And then on top of this, maybe you're doing like holds like this, then you're doing exercises, right? Or maybe you're doing just holds, so you're going forward like you would be doing like a planche lean, right? Like this, for example, or any other like kind of hold or exercise in which you have already the arm completely extended. That's gonna target more the medial head, because very simply the medial head is gonna help in stabilizing the elbow joint, because it's like the closest part of this muscle to the elbow joint. So that's his function, other than of course just extending the elbow. If you're gonna train more in case the lateral head is gonna be, is the only part of the tricep that is actually outside the arm. You just need to do something very simple. You just need to like turn your hands from like doing push-ups like this. You just need to turn your hands inwards. So you can see that by turning your hands inwards, your whole arm is rotating, your shoulder is rotating, and you are already like, you have placed this muscle in a position which is going to give it a better leverage and is going to target it more. So of course you're going to still, you know, by doing this you're going to do like extensions on the elbow, so you're going to target of course the long head and the medial head, but just by doing the exercises like this, so for example diamond push-ups, you are really like pushing in this direction, and so you are targeting a little more of the lateral head. So that's pretty much it. Now finally going into the long head, that really is the thickest of the three heads. This really is the one that because it's like it's the longest, it's as well the one that is going to occupy the largest part of the arm. You can train it like when you're already doing push-ups or dips or all these kind of exercises, body weight. You're already training it, the long head a little bit, because you're doing eccentric movements. So for example, on the dips, when you are on the dips and you are lowering yourself, you can see that already in this position. Look at my elbow, like my shoulder and my elbow. See that this is shoulder extension, and then you push. Shoulder extension, and then you push. So because when you're going down, you're controlling your way down. Of course, you're using your shoulders, your pecs, you're using a lot of muscles, but you're using as well the triceps and especially the long head, because the long head is gonna also be responsible for this shoulder extension. And so that's a way that you're already training it a little more, just by doing dips or even like normal exercises. If you see, like when you go down, see that my elbows are higher than my shoulders, and therefore that means that as you're doing normal push-ups, of course you're training your chest as well, you're training other muscles, but you're as well training a little bit of your triceps in this, of the long head, in this eccentric control. Now you can target it even more, for example by doing dips. If when you're doing dips, instead of keeping your body like straight or just barely forward like this, normally most of people do dips like this, right? But instead of doing this, you just need to really push your body forward, like move your hands backwards, and then from this position do dips. So right, like you're pushing not like in this direction, but you're pushing in this direction, like diagonally, like this. And you can see that in this case you're actually extending the shoulder as you extend the elbows. So this is exactly what the long head does, and therefore you're going to activate it a lot. And this exercise is really tough, especially on dips, and you really will not be able to do a lot of them done in this way. So really forward with your body. Imagine here I don't have the ground, I have the parallel bars, and I'm doing the dips like this. That's one way and you can target the long head. The other way is an exercise that actually is gonna be one of the few exercises, body weight, where you can isolate your triceps. That is tricep extensions. So in this case, I'm gonna just show it to you here in this part of in this bench, but you can have bars like at different levels. It doesn't really matter. Depending on your level, you may choose it. And this way, you're just placing yourself like in this position, but instead of doing a push-up, so going with your hands like this, what you're trying to do is bringing your hands like this. So bringing your hands towards the back of your head, and then from here, pushing. So from here, and then pushing. And you can see that it's very similar to like an exercise you can do in the gym with dumbbells or with weights, and that is the tricep extensions. But this time is body weight. Now this variation is a lot harder than the one you do with weights. So be careful on the height, and the lower you place your hands, so the closer your hands are to the ground, the more difficult the exercise becomes. And pretty much from here, you're just doing this. So you're going like downwards, so you're controlling already your triceps, you're controlling the way down. So that's an eccentric movement. So from here, you are controlling, and from here, boom, you're pushing up. All right, so that's pretty much tricep extensions. And now you have to be careful to your butt. Normally the best thing to do is like to keep your body in line, your abs tight. So You don't want to have your butt too high like this. You want to be like your butt like pretty much like this, and boom, and then boom. All right. So then another exercise that you can do is what is called tiger push-ups, where pretty much instead of just doing push-ups and going down with your whole body, you're just going down with your elbows. So hopefully here I can show it to you. So for example here, you can either do it with your hands like this, all right, so in the front like this, or with your hands like this. It's the same. So from here, you're just doing this, see, and then boom, pushing up. So you're just using, you know, the extension, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's called tiger push-ups, and you can see that I'm pretty much like not using my shoulders, like this part, and then here, here, no, here. I'm just using, you know, the triceps, or you can do it even harder. You can do it like this. So boom, and then boom, or you can change hands, and yeah, and in that way you can isolate a little more the triceps. And but this last variation is not going to really target a lot the long head, because you're going to have always the shoulder like neutral or in flexion, so not really extending it. And that's pretty much it. So that was my video about triceps. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see ya. Bye bye.